What's up, guys, and welcome to the newsletter. And as you can see, I'm outside. It is January in upstate New York, and it is like 60 degrees out. It's absolutely ridiculous. I just couldn't not come out here and do a video from outside because it's never 60 degrees in January. One of the positives to global warming, I guess. All right, so just get through the business parts of the newsletter, talk through a few things. I'm going to be at IAOA in San Diego, Innovation 2020. I'm going to be at their event coming up in 2 weeks. Hope to see you guys there. If you're going to be there, hit me up in the comments below or reach out to me. I'd love to just make sure we connect. I know there's going to be 500 plus, I don't know exactly how many people are going to be there, but I know it's probably 500 plus people, and sometimes it's easy to get lost, and I'd love to connect with you guys if you watch the show and just in general. I'm going to be just taking a lot of stuff in. For me, it's going to be one of the first conferences that I've been to in a long time where I wasn't actually presenting. I was just there to learn and to soak up information that I can use and that I can use at Rogue Risk, my insurance agency. So if you're going to be there, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know. Love to connect. Love to make sure that we bump into each other at some point. Have a beer, have a cup of coffee, whatever. But let me know. I'm looking forward to that event. The people at IOA do a great job with it, or so I've heard. I think this is the 5th or 6th year they've done it, and it's always an event I've wanted to come to, and I'm excited to attend it as an agency owner, which is pretty cool. All right, next piece of business, the inside. So you've heard me talk about the inside on these episodes. We now have 23 members, which is absolutely tremendous considering we launched tomorrow will be just 2 weeks. The inside will have only existed for 2 weeks, and 23 members in that time is awesome. If you're considering the inside, I did an episode this week where I basically dissected my marketing plan for Rogue Risk, the marketing plan that I will deliver to carriers and kind of walk them through as I'm looking for carrier appointments. And you can download that marketing plan, use it as a template, just kind of use it in your own agency for general operations if you want. But if you want to download that, go to ryanhanley.com/insider. I'll have a link below, and just join. All you need to do is join the inside. 14 days free. You can download whatever you want, watch whatever you want, cancel after 14 days, no charge, cancel anytime. It's all good. But join the inside. You can download that. And this week, I'm going to be talking about the criteria that I am using to choose my first agency management system. And we're going to talk a little bit more about agency management systems in this episode of the newsletter. But if you want to go through the steps that I have kind of drawn out that I feel are useful in making that first decision, and I haven't actually decided what my first agency management system is going to be, but I know the criteria I'm using, and I'm going to walk members of the inside through what I'm using as my criteria for choosing an agency management system and kind of where my head is at on a lot of that stuff. So if you haven't already and you're considering it, now is a tremendous time to join the inside. You get 14 days free to check everything out, download as much as you want, and just see if being a member of the inside is for you. Go to ryanhanley.com/insider, and you can do that. Okay, so let's get on to what I want to talk about here. So the title of today's newsletter was Insurance Has Always Been a Data Business, but Now It Matters. And the reason that I titled it that is because, well, I'll tell you what the impetus was. Because the impetus was Jason Cass, who runs AI Intelligence Podcast, which is a tremendous podcast that you all should be listening to if you're not, had Chris Burand on his show. Chris does not do a lot of interviews. I've seen Chris speak before. He is one of the most, I want to say, intelligent in the way he translates fairly complex issues taking place inside our industry, and he, in a very intelligent way, he transforms them so that you and I can understand what he's talking about, right? Like boiling down these ideas into language and concepts that kind of the everyday agent, everyday agency owner can better understand and actually implement in their business. So in this episode, which I will also have linked up below. Absolutely, go listen to this episode. If you don't already listen to Cass's show, you should. But this particular episode is tremendous. And in that episode, Chris says, with the right data, I'm not sure that you need an expiration list to get at your clients. Basically, what Chris says, and I've kind of butchered this here, I'm just going to loop it in.
Wow, what an interesting way to tie that in there, Chris. That's a huge conversation that we have on this podcast a lot, is about data. Now, why do you bring that into this? How would that affect this relationship with us?
It's pretty simple, really. Historically, the agents associations have taken a lot of pride, and they've put a lot of money and effort into protecting their expiration list, the ownership of their expiration list. With the data and data analytics and AI now, the expiration list value, in the open marketplace, it isn't declining, but that may be a temporary animal in your circus analogy, because with the right data, I'm not sure anyone needs the expiration list to go out and write your clients.
That's true, because it's not necessarily when the expiration date it is. It's when they have a need, or when they have a desire, or something comes up in their life to have to purchase more or purchase something.
Okay, so as you heard Chris say, like what he's to put context around this, basically what he's saying is that data has become so important to our business that expirations, the ownership of expirations, which has really been what defines an agency's value, what defines its worth, the real asset of that agency, the ownership of the expiration dates, the expirations, that may in the next 3, 5, 7 years, that's not going to be the asset that has value in an agency, that the new companies that are coming into our space, who aren't bogged down by the clunkiness of accord forms and ancient archaic systems, that these entities, be they reinsurance companies, insurance companies, agencies, some mishmashed, messed up version of all of them, utilizing technology, artificial intelligence, large data sets, they can bypass the need to own the expirations, to understand when clients actually have a need in their business. And think about that for a second. Think about the power of what he is saying, that the expirations, the thing that we hold so tightly, that we protect, that we keep that we keep server racks. Independent insurance agencies have server racks in them to protect these expirations. And what Chris is saying is that there may come a day when the ownership of those expirations is defended with an empty moat. That your competition, in particular, D2C players who can utilize large data sets and mine out and extract data out of them, in particular, life events, changes in life events, moments of need, that they can actually deliver products to your clients when they need them better than you can with expirations. And I believe him. I agree with him. And though I've never articulated it in this way, and that's why I'm talking to you about it right now, why I'm bringing this to your attention, why I want you to listen to this episode, why I want you to follow Chris on LinkedIn when he writes stuff and the different things that he creates, because I believe him. I've never articulated it in that way. It never really hit my brain in that way, though. As soon as he put it, he put that set of words together, I was like, wow. That's the thing. That's the change moment. That's the thing that transforms our industry. When the expirations are no longer the asset of the agency. And that should scare the crap out of you. It scares the crap out of me. I'm launching an agency into a world in which one of the smartest guys in our space is saying the thing that we have traditionally held valuable is not actually, or better put, has the potential to not actually be the thing that is valuable moving forward. And that's why I think though insurance has always been a data business, claims, underwriting, large data sets, pooling of risk, like insurance has always been a data business. It matters now. Now it really matters. It's not just about better pricing anymore. It's about the value of your business. And we need to start thinking about these things. We need to start talking about them more, not just, me and Cass and Seth Zaremba and Jeff Roy and a couple of the carrier people and some consultants like Chris, like everybody, the larger pool of agencies, even the, and I get it. Look, I'm staring down the barrel of launching an agency and I'm scared to death, if I'm being honest with you. I would be silly if I said anything else. I'm also excited out of my mind and I can't wait to put all the things that I've learned over the last decade and a half into practice, and I have the utmost confidence in what Rogue Risk is going to do and what it's going to be and the value structure. I'm also scared shitless because it's doing this in a time of tremendous change and upheaval in our industry. And what concerns me is that you see things like Accord now making you try to, you got to pay for access to Accord form, something that traditionally you haven't had to do. And, there's all these I see legacy organizations trying to defend a way of doing business that may become obsolete. Pools of treasure, in this case the expirations, that people no longer actually want or even value, right? Like, we have to think about these things, and we don't want to think about them. I want to think about marketing plans and sales processes and touch points and this whole agent optimized model agency that I'm building. Like, where do I want to inject myself? Where do I want to bring some VAs in? Where are touch points where I want to hire some people from this local community and bring them in? And I want to think about that stuff. I want to think about running the business and making the business successful. And 10 years from now, having an entity that having an organization which provides value and security and support to my clients and to the team that works with me and my family. Like, that's what I want to think about. I don't want to think about large data pools and AI algorithms, jumping that moat and stealing our clients from us. I don't want to think about that. But I feel like I would be silly if I didn't. I feel like I would be doing a disservice to all the fun stuff that I want to do in my agency if I didn't at least give some small portion of brain space for some small portion of time. If I didn't dedicate that to this particular issue, which I feel like is the defining issue, is going to be the defining issue the next decade of this industry, is this particular thing. Are organizations able to jump expirations? It's an enormous idea, and it should scare the heck out of you. So I don't want this all to be doom and gloom, because it's not, right? I mean, if we know this is coming, if we have these conversations now, then we can set up our business so that if this does happen, and or when it does happen, we're prepared. We're okay. We're like, good, man, like, no problem. I've been thinking about that shit for years. It's all good. Right? That's why we have these conversations, not to like just be like, oh my God, the sky is falling, but to actually find ways to set our business up, set our agencies up, our carriers up, set our relationships up around those organizations to make sure that we're cool when this change happens, that we acknowledge it, we know it's coming, we adapt accordingly. We may not like it, it may not what makes us most comfortable or most happy, but if it's going to be a reality, it feels inappropriate to not address these things. So let's talk about some things that you can do. And this is not all inclusive, right? This is not all inclusive list. If just considering the idea that somehow organizations are able to jump our expiration dates, jump over them to get to our clients in their moments of need based on their ability to mine data, large data pools. Let's assume that can happen today. What should you be doing to reestablish defense lines around your clients to make sure that they want to stay with you? Well, the first is, I think, is addressing the data concerns inside your shop. Where is your data? Who owns that data? Do you have access to that data? Can you pool the data just inside your agency, just inside your agency? Can you pool the data just inside your agency to make decisions just about your particular data, the data set that you have in your client base, whether that's 40 years of data or 4 days of data, right? Can you do that? Do you have the systems that give you access to it? Because there are agency management systems, there are CRM systems, there are all kinds of different systems that you've most likely put in your business who believe they own your data, or at least are selling your data to the organizations that would then jump the moat and steal your clients. Think about that. That's why Cass blasts on certain agency management systems in our space as often as he does, because one, he has slightly more experience in this from me. That's why I'm referencing him. And that's why Seth Zaremba is creating Neon, because this happens, and it happens all the time, is that you think what the information you're plugging into your agency management system is yours, but it's not, or at least not just yours. And what's happening is that data is leaking out and being sold or bartered to other organizations who can then advertise in or just straight direct response market to your clients in their moment of need and extract them from your client base. That should piss you off. It's why I've believed in Neon since the first time I was sitting across a table the same size as this one with Seth Zaremba 3.5 years ago, when Neon wasn't even actually, or Be Atomic wasn't even actually the name. I think he was brainstorming Neon at the time, but Be Atomic wasn't even a thing. And he's pitching me this idea, and I'm looking at him going, holy crap, this is the thing. So this is the problem that Neon is trying to solve. And though not everyone will want to be on Neon, not everyone will have access to Neon, and Neon won't be for everybody. But the core construct, the core virtues that Neon is looking to address, you have to figure out ways to manage them. You have to. So the first thing is own your data, know who has access to it, and make the right decisions so that your data is yours and that you can use it. Very, very important. The second thing is your brand. And what I mean by that is if someone else markets or injects themselves into the lives of your clients in their moments of need, it doesn't matter if that person loves working with you. If they believe that you always have the right answer for them, if they believe that you have their best interest in heart, if they believe that you've built a program that fits their family or their business, if they believe in you and your business, if they believe in your brand, if they're bought in, if they're true believers, then you've built a defense system, a very strong defense system against people coming in after your clients. And really, these two alone will protect much of the doom and gloom that I started this newsletter with. Is build your brand and know your systems inside and out and make strategic decisions around them. Know your data inside and out, right? These two things right now are the best two pieces of advice I can give you. Now there's more stuff. I think working with a smaller pool of carriers, I think working with a pool of carriers who believes in you, the agent, is incredibly important versus, let's say, some of our partners who have tried at least a half dozen to a dozen times to subvert us in their own way. And again, I don't actually fault carriers for going direct in some regard, but you have to choose the partners that you want to work with. And a smaller set of carriers who can be a real partner for your business is of the utmost importance. So with that, I want to kind of close this episode of the newsletter up. I think this idea of insurance has always been a data business, but now it matters is incredibly important. I want to hear your comments. What do you think about this idea? How are you using data? What things scare you about data in your business? And what are some other ways that we can build lines of defense around our clients to protect against organizations jumping that moat and stealing our clients? Leave them in the comments below. If you're not subscribed to this show, please do hit the subscribe button. I love you for watching this video. Catch you on the next episode. I love you. I'm out of here. Peace.